Hey y'all, this video is going to be for the worksheet for Friday the 23rd. A lot of this is really similar to what we just did in the notes. If you watch that notes video, if you haven't, go back, watch it. But I figure it's good. I'm going to go over a few more of these anyways, just so you can see a couple extra examples, just a little bit more practice with it. Since I can't be there and answer questions, maybe a few extra examples would help. But again, if there's specific ones, especially in the second half of the worksheet, since I'm only looking at the first half right now, or just any other problems in general that you have questions about, you got to reach out. Please ask me. I really want you to. I'm going to keep saying it because I want you to get, you need to ask me questions so I can help you. I am literally available all day. So ask me questions. I will help. Okay, let's get started. First of all, number one, I'll do number two because number two has a negative in it, and everyone hates the negatives for some reason. So I'll do number two so we can work through this one. All right. So let's see. First thing you got to notice is that squared. Remember, squaring something, that means that you're multiplying by itself, right? That means 8a minus 6 times 8a minus 6. So let's go ahead, set up that box method. Again, if you're unfamiliar with box method, maybe you missed yesterday's notes. Go back, watch those videos. Those are also in Google Classroom. Ask your friends. I did put you in table groups for a reason. I want you to talk to your friends about math, help each other. But make sure you know what box method is. Super important. All right. And again, obviously, we'll go over this more when I get back. But this is important. If you can understand this now with a video, that's going to be excellent. All right. So you got 8a minus 6 again. So again, we're going to multiply those. So when we're multiplying, right, remember, you're going to multiply the numbers out front. Right, so 8 and 8 makes 64, and then a times a gives you a squared. All right, let's keep going around the box. We've got 8a times negative 6, so multiply the numbers. 8 times negative 6 gives you negative 48, and then don't forget the a. So we got negative 48a. Over here, we got the same thing, 8a times negative 6 again. That's negative 48a. We just said that. And then over here, we've got negative 6 times negative 6. Don't forget, a negative times a negative gives you a positive. So that's going to be a positive 36. All right, let's combine everything together. We got 64a squared minus 48a minus 48a plus 36. Okay, right here, you want to look for that last step always. Combine your like terms. Look for the same variable, same letter, this is what that means, and the same exponent, right? So this a squared, there's no other a squared, so that's going to stay by itself. Same thing with the 36. There's no other numbers that don't have a letter attached. And these two guys right here in the middle, negative 48a minus 48a, those two have an a. Both of them have an exponent of 1. Remember that invisible exponent of 1? Again, we covered that in the last videos from yesterday. Please go back, check those if you have any questions, or reach out to me, even better. So negative 48 minus 48 is going to give you negative 96a. Again, don't forget, when you're adding and subtracting, don't change the exponent. So this is still a to the first power. And that is going to be your final answer, right? Now we've combined all the like terms. You've got your a squareds, you've got your a's, you've got the constants. Constant just means the number that doesn't have a letter attached to it. And that's going to be your final answer right here. All right. Let's check another one. Okay, so number 1 and number 3, pretty similar idea to what we just did. So let's check number 4. So this one, we've got a trinomial, right? There's 3 different terms inside there. We've got the 3b squared, the negative b, and the plus 5. Same thing, just another box method. It's just a little bit bigger this time. So you got 2b, a negative 2, and then you've got 3b squared minus b plus 5. All right. So same thing we've been doing. You got 2b times 3b squared. Multiply those numbers out in front. 2 times 3 is 6. don't forget the invisible exponents. B to the 1 times b squared. You're going to add those exponents. So add them up. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that is b cubed. All right. And then you've got 2b times negative b is going to be negative 2b squared, right? Again, that's your invisible exponent of 1. You got 1 plus 1 makes the 2. And then over here, you've got 2b times 5. 2 times 5 is 10, so you've got 10b. All right, we'll come down to the bottom row. Do the same thing. So negative 2 times 3b squared, negative 6b squared. You've got negative 2 times negative b. That is positive, oops, I'm writing this wrong, positive 2b. And then lastly over here, you've got negative 2 times positive 5. That is negative 10. Again, with the polynomials, the multiplying stuff, whenever you're using box method, don't forget, go back and combine your like terms at the end. So let's write everything out first. So we've got 6b cubed minus 6b squared minus 2b squared plus 2b plus 10b minus 10. All right. Let's look for our like terms. So I see some b squareds right here, and I see a group of b's. All right, so let's combine those. So 6b cubed is going to stay, right? No change here. And then we've got negative 6 minus 2. So that'll be negative 8b squared. And then over here we've got 2b plus 10b. That makes 12b. And then we've got minus 10 hanging out over here. And that is going to be your final answer. All right, so again, same thing, box method, and then combine like terms. Always box method when you're multiplying polynomials. All right, let's do 2 more. I'll do number 5 and number 8. Okay, because yeah, 5, 6, and 7 are pretty much all the same thing. So if you can do 5, you can do the other ones. All right, so first thing we want to do, look at what is being squared. All right, we have this binomial, right? This little guy right here in the parentheses is being squared. Whenever you see that squared is only on the m minus 6. We're not squaring this whole thing. We're only squaring this guy over here, right? So we want to do that first. If you remember your order of operations, that PEMDAS thing, right? You got your parentheses and then your exponents. Exponents comes before multiply, comes before add and subtract, anything like that. So take care of that first. Right, so remember, squaring is multiplying by itself, so that's m minus 6 times m minus 6. And then we can write everything else too, but we're not too worried about that. We're going to take care of that later, right? Because we're doing the exponents first. All right, again, with PEMDAS, now we want to do multiplication. So we are going to take care of this. Right, so we're going to go box method. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here because I don't want my video to be too painfully long. I want to make sure y'all get some time to think of questions, talk to each other. Ask me questions as well. All right, so we got m times m. M times m is m squared. And then you've got m times negative 6 is negative 6m. Same thing over here, negative 6 times m is negative 6m. And then you've got a negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. All right, so we're going to rewrite it. Combine all the like terms. But don't forget this guy over here. I see people sometimes, they'll forget about the rest of it. Don't forget it. We are still adding everything over here. All right, so let's write what we've got. So we've got m squared. Again, this is copying down from what we just did in box method. Minus 6m plus 36. And then we need to copy the rest of this stuff down. Plus 4m squared plus 6m minus 1. All right, last step, combine your like terms. We've got 1m squared and 4m squared. So we've got 5m squared. What else do we have? Remember, you're looking for the same exponent. So you've got, use a different color, minus 6m plus 6m. So negative 6 minus another 6 plus a 6 And again, you can use calculators if you want. Calculators are allowed on tests. If you struggle with negative numbers, we can practice that a little more when I get back. But calculators are allowed on the test, so it's not a huge deal. So anyways, that's going to give you a negative 6m. And then lastly, let's go ahead and combine our constants, just those numbers. You got 36 minus 1. It's going to give you 35. And that is your answer right there. All right. One more. I'll do number 8 because this one's a little bit different, but it's not too bad. So again, do your multiplication first. Notice right here, that guy is being subtracted. That's not being multiplied, it's being subtracted. So what we're worried about, we're concerned about this because this 3x is being multiplied by that guy. So it's just a little mini box method. So we've got 3x and then a 2x squared minus 6x. All right, so let's multiply those. First of all, 3x, remember that's x to the 1. This is 6x to the 1. All right, so you've got 3x to the 1 times 2x squared. So multiply the numbers in front, the 3 and the 2. That makes 6. Add the exponents. So we're adding the 1 and the 2. That makes x to the 3. Same thing over here. This guy multiplied by this guy. So multiply the numbers in front, negative 18. Add the exponents, 1 and 1. So the 1 and this one makes x squared. And again, always don't forget that part over here. So let's rewrite everything we've got. So we've got 6x, oof, that came out weird. Let's rewrite that. 6x cubed minus 18x squared. And then the one little caveat or the nuance to this negative, it's like we're multiplying everything in here by a negative 1. So whenever there's a negative out in front of a set of parentheses, I guess the shortcut you can think about is just change all the signs on the inside. So that 3 becomes a negative 3. The negative 7x squared becomes a positive 7x squared. And the negative 4x cubed becomes a positive 4x cubed. So whenever we're subtracting like a whole polynomial, just switch all the signs on the inside and you'll be good to go. All right, last step. Look for terms that we can combine. So you're looking for the same letter, which is already good because the only thing we're dealing with anyways is x's, and then the same exponent. So here I see some cubes we can combine. 6 and 4 makes 10. Again, don't forget, I'll say it one more time. Don't change the exponent when you're adding and subtracting. That stays in x cubed. All right, and then we've got some x squareds. We've got a plus 7 and a minus 18. That's going to combine to make negative 11, right? Negative 18 plus 7. And then a lone minus 3 out here. And there you go. There is your answer for number 8. Okay. If you have questions about any of these, anything that I did, you want to see me work out some of the others, questions in general, talk to your friends. The sub might be able to help. I'm not sure. But please text me, email me. I want to help you. Just let me know, and I'll make sure that you understand everything. All right. Good luck.